Live from New Bedford, ladies and gentlemen, this is the YouTube channel vlog show of authenticity, inspiration, and realness, also of good times, personality, and fun. This is Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, and now, here's your host of the show. He is Big Beefy E. He is Mr. Shenanigans and the elder statesman of the Rant and Rave podcast, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode 1248 of the show. My apologies for not uploading a video from last night's AEW Revolution. I'm going to do that right now to give you the results of that. If you've not seen it yet, please do not watch this video. And I recommend skipping this video and go to my tic-tac-toe video right after this. So, so if you don't want any spoilers, please don't watch this video. That's gonna. If you get upset with me because I put out spoilers, dudes, don't watch. When I say don't watch the video, I mean do not watch the video. Wait until you watch AEW Revolution, then you can look at my video and I'll give you my thoughts on this. So, for those you have not watched Revolution, don't watch the video. Those you have, please, you can tune in. All right. If you yell at me, it's your fault for watching this video, okay? Hey, no spoilers! Well, guess what? It's your fault for watching this stupid video, dude! Ah! You turkeys. You stooge turkeys! Alright. Alright, we'll talk... I figured I'd get out of the way. Alright, AEW Revolution 2024 match results from last night. This went for 5 hours. Holy mackerel, I stayed up till midnight watching this thing. It's crazy. Here are the results of the 0-hour matches. A 12-man tag, the Bang Bang Scissor Gang, that would consist of the AEW Trios champions, the Acclaimed. That would be Platinum Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, and Billy Gunn. And also teaming up with the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champions, Bullet Club Gold. That would consist of the leader, Switchblade Jay White, and the Gunn brothers, Austin and Colton, to go up against a team of Willie Mack, Private Party, and Planet Jarrett that would consist of Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, and Satnam Singh, with Sanjay Dutt and Karen Jarrett in their corner. Despite the added advantage of having Karen Jarrett and Sanjay Dutt in their corner, the result is the Bang Bang Scissor Gang proved why they are the champions in the Trios division in Ring of Honor and in AEW. So then Jay White addressed the crowd afterwards and addressed the crowd, trying to get the crowd hyped up for Revolution. They were talking about the different matches, Sting's final match, and all that. Lexi interviewed Dr. Sampson along with Best Friends in Orange Cassidy. Dr. Sampson, listen, he's got a title. Then I told him not to go out there, but he's going to do it anyways. And he said, I'm going to do it anyways. I don't care. So they also put it in there. Best Friends on 3 and all that good stuff. Well, guess who's trying to return to AEW? Pac. It seems he's got a bone to pick with Tony Khan. I don't know what's up with that. I'm surprised Pac had not got out of his contract, and he would have gone back to the WWE, and he would have made an interesting opponent for Gunta, to be honest with you. Yeah, you don't have to worry about having him going back to Adrian Neville. You can call him Pac now because Clown Shoes and Mr. I don't care, I'm going to be a carny, damn it, Vince McMahon, no longer there. You guys can go back to the WWE, and you can do your thing there. But who knows? So, but anyways, Pac is returning to the AEW very, very soon. Question is, who is he going to be targeting in AEW once he comes back from his injury? We'll find out. Probably this Wednesday, maybe? Who knows? By the way, this Wednesday is my birthday, just to let you know. So this is this coming Wednesday is a couple of days away. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Women's tag matchup: Will Nightingale and the former TBS champion Chris Statlander with a guy who looks like if they shrunk Steve Harvey in the dryer, Mr. Stokely Hathaway, to go up against the team of the current and reigning TBS champion Julia Hart and Sky Blue, which a lot of fellas nowadays seem to like because she's got some buns, if you know what I mean. So that's neither here nor there. She is cute, but to me, I've always thought that Toni Storm will always be the queen of curves, in my opinion. Anywho, might I digress. The team of Nightingale and Chris Statlander, who's been a powerhouse team, ended up winning the match. So there you go there. Alright, let's get to the main card. The TNT title was going to kick it off. Christian Cage and Daniel Garcia went one-on-one. And during the matchup, Kill Switch decided to get involved, but Matt Menard, Daddy Magic Matt Menard, came out with a steel chair and started brawling with Kill Switch. They went to the back. But who is going to neutralize Shayna Wayne and her son Nick? Well, Nick Wayne got involved, unfortunately, and cost Daniel Garcia the matchup, and Christian Cage is still your TNT champion. I picked Garcia to win the matchup, but yeah, I picked Garcia to win the matchup. Why did I meant to pick Cage to win the match. So, I picked Garcia to win the match, but I wrote down Garcia as a result. It's Cage, still, the TNT champion. I think they're saving that for Adam Copeland when he gets back from his injury. Lexi Nair reports her interview with Bryan Danielson. He's super focused on this matchup. The Continental Crown title will be on the line as Eddie Kingston defended against Bryan Danielson. This was a heck of a matchup. But before then, Renee Paquette reports about Eddie Kingston before the match. And Eddie Kingston went in there and he fought Bryan Danielson tooth and nail. Eddie Kingston defeated Danielson to retain his title. And then Bryan Danielson extended his hand. They shook hands. And then Bryan Danielson lifted his wrist. That is class. Bryan Danielson, I applaud you for doing that. Finally, you've acknowledged Eddie Kingston. Forget acknowledging Roman Reigns. Acknowledge Eddie Kingston. That's what you did. You not acknowledge Eddie Kingston as the Continental Crown Champion. And I think Daniel Bryan's got a little bit of respect for him now. I think he was trying to prove that he's not a bum. He's in the ring, doing the thing. He's got heroes in Japan he looked up to. You know, and Eddie Kingston's a student of the game. He reminds me a lot of a streetwise version of Jake the Snake Roberts with his promos when he cuts it, but in the ring, he fights with heart, man. He fights with heart. I like Eddie Kingston. I don't care if he's from New York or not. I know it's supposed to be a Boston-New York rivalry thing, but who cares about that? Eddie Kingston is the man. He is the Continental Crown Champion. Who's he going to defend the title against next? Who knows for sure? Will Claudio Castagnoli get a shot at it? I don't know. I can see Pac and Eddie Kingston hook it up for the Continental Crown Championship. Just saying. Well, yep, so, both shook hands up to me. Alright, an 8-man All-Star Scramble. That was coming up next. Hook versus Powerhouse Hobbs versus Lance Archer versus Magnus from CMLL versus Brian Cage versus Wardlow versus Dante Martin and versus Chris Jericho. These guys were fighting and beating the crap out of each other all over the place, but in the end, Wardlow, whom I picked to win this matchup, Wardlow has won the chance to become the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Him and Samoa Joe, let's get that match going. That'll be a heck of a fight. Then the international title was on the line. Orange Cassidy defending against Roderick Strong. And surprisingly enough, the Undisputed Kingdom did not get involved in the matchup, though. They fought with heart. But in the end, though, we have a new international champion. Roderick Strong has defeated Orange Cassidy to become the international champion. But as him, Mike Bennett, Matt Taven were celebrating, guess who's back? And I thought he was going to attack Roderick Strong. Kyle O'Reilly with a little bit more hair. And Kyle O'Reilly turned around, looked at Roderick Strong. They smiled. They get a hug. But then Kyle O'Reilly says, "You got a t-shirt from him?" And then Mike Bennett got the t-shirt off his back, offered, and Roderick Strong offered for him to join. But he looked at the shirt and he says, "You know what?" He put the shirt back and listened. He whispered a few things. I don't know. I have my reasons. We'll talk about it some other time. And walked away. He didn't say no. He didn't say yes. But he's got some reasons. So I'm sure Kyle O'Reilly's got a lot on his mind. He said, "I just came back, not right." He probably say, "I just came back, not right now." So we shall see where Kyle O'Reilly stands. We'll see how Adam Cole feels about it, about that whole situation. It's gonna be nuts, let me tell you. You know, so FTR versus Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli. Here's another match I got wrong, and this was a heck of a matchup. But I think a mistake by FTR did end up costing them the matchup. And Moxley and Castagnoli did win the matchup. And then afterwards, both teams kind of like looking at each other, staring straight. They're like, no problem. With some respect there. You know, sometimes you don't have to worry about a handshake is not necessary for respect. You just look at each other. Oh, long and nod head. Guys are good. Guys are going. That's how it is. So, heck of a matchup. Really could have gone either way. The AEW Women's World title was on the line as the Timeless One, Toni Storm, defends against the Virtuosa, Deonna Purrazzo. And we thought we saw it, you know, Deonna Purrazzo came out, you know. But then, I think a little mind games by the Timeless One. I think Toni Storm added a little bit more dimension to the character is the mind games. I think... mind games. She probably picked up a couple of advice, a couple of things from Dustin Rhodes during his time as Goldust. Maybe Toni Storm watched a little bit of that. Mind games, of course. And I thought Toni Storm was back to her rocker chick. I said, she can't grow her hair that long, that fast. And realize it's Mariah May. It's Mariah May. And that she almost looks like Toni Storm. Almost. It was crazy. But then Timeless Toni Storm came out. They had their matchup. Mariah May gets involved during the matchup, and it cost Deonna Purrazzo as Toni Storm because Deonna Purrazzo had Toni Storm beat for the title because Toni Storm was tapping. Luther, though, because Luther distracted the referee, he did not see that. Mariah May took advantage of it, and Toni Storm retains her title. Then there's a heck of a matchup here. Will Ospreay going up against Konosuke Takeshita, both members of the Don Callis family, or as I like to call Don Callis, Hot Dog Head. And this was a heck of a match. It could have gone either way, but Will Ospreay ended up winning the matchup. Then the AEW World title was on the line as Samoa Joe defended against Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page. And I think Hangman Adam Page was trying to do whatever he can to make sure that Swerve Strickland does not walk out champion. But unfortunately for Swerve Strickland, he did not. Heck of a matchup could have gone either way. Samoa Joe ended up winning the matchup, retaining his title. Now he's got to grow eyes in the back of his head. Here comes Wardlow up the rankings, man. Since he won that 8-man All-Star Scramble, we shall see what happens. Then the main event was the AEW Tag Team title match between Sting and Darby Allin. Sting in his final matchup, teaming up with Darby Allin against the Young Bucks, Nicholas and Matthew Jackson, a.k.a. Beavis and Butthead. Ric Flair arrives at ringside. Of course, Ric Flair had a great rivalry with Sting. And made an appearance, Diamond Dallas Page, Lex Luger, and Scotty Riggs all showed up to support Sting. Also, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was the guest timekeeper in this matchup. So, whoo boy. And then Sting's sons got involved in the action as well. And they were cosplaying one of Sting's sons. I forgot who was the oldest and who was the youngest. One of Sting's sons was dressed as the Sting back in the early 80s, late 80s, early 90s. Surfer gimmick. And you got the Wolf, and the other son dressed as the Wolfpack Sting, which I thought was, his son's taking part in that. He's spending a lot of time with their father. It was really, really cool moment for them. A cool moment. Probably Sting's probably beaming ear to ear. Then they got involved in the matchup doing the Stinger Splash and everything. That was the crazy... This was a Texas Tornado match. And no DQ, anything goes in this matchup. You had Sting, his sons are involved. I said, if his sons decide to quit the football thing and go into wrestling, there's a tag team right there. But speaking of which, we'll get to... speaking of tag teams titles, we'll get to that in just a moment. Then when the Young Bucks were really trying to get things going, they disrespected Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat. They got they got Steamboat and Flair. There was one spot, holy mackerel. I don't know, you guys, everybody's been talking about this. Darby Allin, all right, I think set up a glass panel between two chairs, was on the ladder. All of a sudden, when he tried to do a coffin drop or something like that off the ladder onto one of the Young Bucks, the Young Bucks moved out of the way, things shattered, and Darby Allin landed on the glass, shattering it, and then when you see his back turned from, like a regular, and then started bleeding out. I'm going, oh my gosh. I'm like, holy, you know what, man. I'm telling you, I was like, and when the blood started coming out, I'm like, oh my gosh, that hurt. And I'm like, ugh. And in fact, Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat, they, even Sting got, Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat, God bless them. They shouldn't be out there doing that, but they want to prove that he still got it. And Sting is like 60-some-odd years old. Dude goes to some glass as well. I'm going through a table. He sits up. He keeps on getting up. They do the EVP trigger and the Tony Khan driver and all that. They did everything to Sting while Darby Allin was out because of his back, and they had to bandage the poor guy up and everything. I'm going. You would swear that the man is dead. You would swear Darby Allin was dead. I mean, and the Young Bucks did everything. EVP trigger. Sting keeps kicking out. I'm like, what is he, the Undertaker now? Oh man, it was crazy. But in the end, despite the fact all the Young Bucks threw at him, Sting and Darby Allin retained the tag team titles with Sting via submission with the Scorpion Deathlock. I gotta tell you, if there's one way that Sting goes out on top, and in a crazy match like this, I mean, it was one of the craziest matches I've ever seen. That Darby Allin glass spot, my word. I'm like, my jaw just dropped to see Darby Allin's back go from like regular to red, and then the blood started coming out. I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, he was literally bleeding. I'm like, holy mackerel. Sometimes, he was in a relationship with Gigi Dolan. I wonder how Gigi would put up some of the antics that he does. Man, God bless her. But anyways, she's moved on from him now. But then Sting and Darby Allin addressed the Greenboro crowd after the match, and Sting says thank you and all, and just fans were chanting, thank you, Sting, you still got it, and all that. It's amazing. Now, at the media scrum, Tony Khan has announced that with Sting and Darby Allin retaining the titles, but they decided to vacate the championships now that Sting's retired. Now, you would think that, hey, Darby Allin should go out and pick another partner. I don't think anybody, I respect Darby Allin and all, but I think there's nobody in that locker room in their right mind will want to team up with a guy as crazy as Darby Allin unless they want to. And say, hey, I'll be your partner. But they decided, they thought, with Darby Allin, did a lot of crazy stuff, and he's probably going to be too hurt to fight after that crazy brawl. And with Sting retired, you think the right thing to do is to vacate the titles and get a tournament set up, and they're going to have a tournament set up to crown new champions. And I think that's a very, very wise and noble thing to do. And it's, oh my gosh, it was crazy. It was a crazy, crazy matchup, to say the least. I gotta tell you, it's so the fallout from Revolution will be this, like I said, this Wednesday on AEW Dynamite, which is my birthday, and as you know, this is the final work week I'm going to be working until my vacation. Now, I don't know if I do have jury duty, but I don't know if I'm going to have to report in. If I do. Like I said, next Monday, what I'll do is after the tic-tac-toe, I will do the high rollers and then Trebek Tuesday, and then schedule that for that day, just in case of how long I'm going to be at the courtroom there. Who knows for sure? I mean, it's just jury duty. So, anyways, let's go back to AEW Revolution. This is a crazy, crazy event. The craziest match of the night was that crazy Texas Tornado matchup, and that Darby Allin through the glass spot. I just cannot believe it. And everybody's like, holy mackerel. Everybody was talking about that. It was just crazy. And just seeing seeing Darby Allin's back morph into red, and like, oh my gosh, how is he going to finish this match? I'd be screaming. Like, I'm freaking bleeding. That's why I'd be screaming. Oh my word. So, that's all the time we have on this show. Episode 1248 of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Up next will be Martindale Monday. That's right, Martindale Monday. That means tic-tac-toe. All right, I'll see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful day. And until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, doing for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.